guys hear that intro music, baby? You know what time it is. It is Thursday, and you are rocking with the Locker Room crew. This is time to get your game when it comes to football. The football industry, which is a little crazy right now, but we got you covered. So we don't want to hesitate because we got a great show lined up for you guys tonight. I am your host, Coach Terrence Wood, and then my boy that you see on the far right, that is none other than Q, the Guru. What's going on, Guru?
What's going on, Coach? Hey, I got some breaking news, man. I heard Mike Tyson training Cam now, man. So we're going to see how that pan out.
Okay. We're coming out firing.
Hey, for real. I'm telling you. It's getting wild.
A lot happens.
A
lot happens in a week.
We're going to get into it, too. Right away.
We're going to get into it.
We got to introduce our guest, though. We got an awesome guest, man.
Yes, indeed. We do have to introduce our guests. And if you're joining us for the first time, every single week, you guys, we bring in somebody from the football industry, somebody that's in it or has lived in it. And tonight, we've got a very, very special perspective because the young lady that you see in the middle of the screen, she is not just a football mom, you guys, but she's also a registered NFL agent, and that is none other than Alishia Jones. How's it going, Miss Jones?
Oh, it's going well, guys. Thank you for having me on the show.
Definitely.
We are pumped up to have you, and I already see some of our favorites coming into the chat. I see the great Eric Falls. Let's get after it. Yes, indeed, Coach Falls. We've got Rick De Jesus. His son is a football player. May have to line up against your son one day in the NFL. Let's go. Glad to hear this tonight. I know he's excited to hear from you too, because he's a football dad. So let's get into it, you guys, and not waste any time. Alicia's advice. Alicia's advice is what we want to get into first because, like I said, you got a ton of advice when it comes to this industry. I mean, your son, you've paid for cleats, you've driven him to practice, gone to camps, gone to unofficial visits, and it looks like it's paid off. He was a high school All-American, played at Texas A&M. Now he is currently doing his thing in the NFL, had a very, very good rookie season, which we'll get into. But you decided to say, hey, I'm not just going to sit on the sideline. I'm going to jump in the game and actually become an NFL agent. And now you're helping young men across the country working to live their dreams as well. So I want to ask you, if I'm a parent sitting at home, Alishia, and maybe my son is starting to get recruited, and then maybe I'm a parent that's thinking about becoming an agent as well, which is maybe something for both sides of the fence that you wish you knew when you first got started?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say look beyond the glitz and the glamour of some of the programs. Sometimes we get focused on logos, and we don't do what's best for our athlete or for our son. So I would say go in. I had a few coaches tell me during recruiting, I never seen a mother with a notepad. And I would say go in with a notepad and I would say, have your questions ready because even though it's about recruiting is about building relationships with some of the coaches, you see the coaching carousel. And so when you make a decision, they always say you making a not a 4-year decision, but a 40-year decision because you become alumni. Just like you two always talk about where you played ball at, Colorado and K-State. So you have to see yourself being a part of that family and a part of that tradition. So that's my first and foremost statement here is look beyond the glitz and the glamour. And if you get to a program and all they have to do is all they're trying to sell you is bashing another program, then you need to run. You don't need to be a part of that program because that means they can't give you anything. All they doing is worried about everybody else instead of investing into your child.
Good
Okay.
point.
All right. And then as far as the agent side of things, what's maybe something that you found out once you got in to the business that you wish you might have known before?
Right.
Well, as a female, as a woman, I never really wore my feelings on my sleeves because, I was active duty. So I am a veteran and I worked
Mhm.
for the U.S. Army for over 20 years as a civilian. But you can't wear your feelings on your sleeves because the ratio agent to player is just is
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you may not get the young man that you want, but you have to get the right fit for you, and you have to
Okay.
make sure that you are willing to help that person and that you believe in that person. And I would say be patient. The clients will come, and of course you need to have the cash on hand because now you're investing into these young men lives.
Yeah.
Great point. Great point right there. And there's
Excellent
so
point.
many elements that an agent touches
Yeah.
with some of these clients. So
A
I
ton.
appreciate you sharing that
Ton.
with us right there. We've got Franchelle Irvin coming in, and she says, Auntie checking in from Houston. So we thank you for checking in with us. And then Sadite Green, one of our young superstars, plus mom and dad. You guys, great show for you guys to tune
Yeah,
into
definitely.
tonight. They've got a young
Definitely.
superstar in LA, and he's coming in. So thank you guys for checking in. And of course, my mother-in-law always hold me down, Victoria Jones, saying, hey, son, checking in from Denver, excited about a mom's perspective. Yes,
Yeah,
indeed. So love your mom
definitely.
on that. Let's get
Definitely.
into our next topic, you guys. And if you're joining us for the first time, all of the topics, everything we're covering tonight is right there on the bottom ticker. And this one, I definitely wanted to get in with you because you've seen both sides. You've seen your son be recruited by agents and swoon people trying to take him out to dinner. And then you've, of course, had to do things on your side, too, to start getting your clientele and figuring out how to navigate this industry, Alishia. So I wanted to ask you, we'll start with you and then go to you, Q. Give me three things that in your mind are key to become a top agent or to become a real good agent.
Okay, for me, a leader with faith, because
Mm,
faith helps leaders with both their confidence and humility, and that
mm.
is something that you need. I would say people skills, have the ability to relate to others and their family members, and be family oriented because you need to be able to nurture their brand because these, they are learning in college now with NIL what branding is meaning a little earlier. But when you become an NFL agent with the NFLPA, you need to start building your brand so it's life after football as well. And my number one is integrity. I mean, above all else, you need to be able to be open and honest with your communication, build trust,
Yeah.
and your ethical behavior.
Amazing right there. And this is great because some of you parents are getting a chance, some of you athletes are getting a chance to hear what you should be looking for when you
Yeah.
start, if you get the chance to look for an agent. Q, I know you had to go through a couple of agents
Yeah.
throughout your
Yeah.
professional
Definitely.
career.
Definitely. Definitely.
Give me your top three of what you think an agent needs to have in place to be legit.
Well, man, I would say at the top of the list definitely would be patience. And we'll actually touch on that with the next subject matter with with Cam and how he handled that, in my opinion, the correct way. But definitely patience. It's these players now, we talk about this all the time, T. They deal with so much more than we had to in our era because of social media was non-existent, so it's having a lot of patience with them and steering them around potholes that previously didn't exist. I would say next is having a good understanding of family. When you have a client and you have a better understanding of their background, you know how to deal with them a whole lot better. You know what I mean? Like, for example, your son, at least let's be honest, I'm just keeping all the way real. Sometimes you have kids that are a little bit more of a project with off the field because maybe they only are coming from a particular area or a one parent home. So a lot of times I know me or my age, and a lot of athletes are attest to this. Especially if it's an off the field situation, your agent's gonna get a call before your mama does. In a lot of cases, well, maybe Alicia, not you, but you know what I mean, though. Your
Yes.
agent it's, you see, your agent is your best friend. Something goes down after the club 2:00 in the morning, you calling your agent. You know what I'm saying? So you need to have that relationship. It's literally that important. And then I would say the third thing is, especially in this day and age, is constantly keeping yourself up to speed of how to market your athlete. It's constantly changing, right? It's constantly changing. Rewind 20 or 30 years ago, you have a marquee player. The whole goal is getting on a box of Wheaties. Now it's using leveraging NIL, social media, man, and how to continuously learn on further marketing your athlete.
Yeah, it's a lot of elements to it, but becoming a 360 agent. And that's why you guys have marketing firms and you guys have teams, and there's a lot of people that pull into it. So definitely appreciate you sharing that, Alishia and Q, because like I said, your athletes may need an agent one day, and it's not as easy as you think. It's not as easy as you think, you guys. So we are on to our next topic, and this is the aforementioned Cam Newton. And obviously, if you're in the football industry, you probably done heard of what went down.
Take a look. You can see Cam Newton. Can you make him out there trying to fight off multiple men? The former NFL quarterback was taking part in an invitation-only camp and tournament when this happened over the weekend. Camp staffers and security officers eventually stepped in to break this up.
All right, so we'll start off with you, Q, and then we'll throw it to you, Miss Jones. But Q, I mean, the 7-on-7 culture, is what we just saw with Cam, because I've never seen that, man. NFL MVP being attacked at his own camp, his own 7-on-7.
Right.
So, in your opinion, man, is the 7-on-7 culture out of control? Is this just a one-off with Cam's event? Because Cam's been in some scuffles, at least with teammates in the past, and I've never seen this at Russell Wilson's camp or even Michael Vick's. So, what's your thoughts when you saw this?
I mean, I'll say for starters, for starters, the one thing I would say is, yes, he was being attacked by young men, a group of young men. But the one thing that he was smart about, for starters, if you notice, he didn't throw any punches.
Okay.
He was, so in regards to him defending himself, he might have been kind of grabbing and moving, boys, but he didn't throw any blows. So if this turns into a legal situation, it's pure defense, and it's not where he's an aggressor in any way because he threw no blows. That was I don't know if it was intentional or not, but if it was, that was very, very intelligent on his behalf. I can't agree.
He's a big dude.
That's a big boy. You talk
somebody's jaw or something,
right? Right.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that that it was a 7-on-7 a 7-on-7 type of event, should I say, with the African American quarterback. I don't foresee this happening. Russell Wilson and Vic, that would never happen if Peyton and Eli had it. You see what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. So I think more will come out. That always is the case when we have situations. As time goes on, more will emerge. But I do think it's a one-off. But we don't have enough information to quite see what exactly it was stemming from, what sparked these kids, to attack him in the first place. We literally don't know that yet.
Well, it also, some back end, it seems like it was actually coaches, 7-on-7 coaches that he had some history with. And so there is some past there.
Yeah.
Alishia, what was your thoughts when you seen this? You've got a son that may be doing events like this or trying to give back to the community. Are you nervous for him, or you think this is just a Cam thing?
No. So we have to differentiate 7-on-7 and running a camp for youth.
Okay.
Because those are two separate things. Your first question, is this a one-off or a fluke? I would say no, because I've been around national 7-on-7. My son was a part of 2 national teams in high school. And that is just the culture in 7-on-7, because one, they don't have any type of governance. It's not like AAU or UIL or anything
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
don't have governance. There's no background checks. There's, whoever say they want to be a coach and they pay some money to be a part of the program,
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
they have a team. So whether we can find a solution for the culture, I don't know. I read when all this came out, should they have college coaches and scouts there, and maybe the kids will calm down a little bit. But I think the behavior is the kids are being groomed by the adults to behave that way, and the taunting and the things like that. So it's going to be interesting on where we go from now. I think Cam will be able to hold a youth camp where kids are coming and they want to learn. 7-on-7 is a competitive environment, so you're going to have some heated words just because
Right.
Cam is very competitive.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's big,
Yeah.
and I appreciate your honesty right there, because it is a difference. It is a difference between a camp and 7-on-7, and 7-on-7 seems like it's starting to have a stigma to it. What did you want to say, Q?
No, I was just saying, Coach. It's like, but you got to look at it like, I mean, if this is the culture, these kids have to think for 1 second. Hey, if my name is gonna emerge at some point in time, and that even if I'm a 4 or 5 star kid, that's gonna hurt my recruiting severely, because these kids' names are gonna pop up. They'll get. I mean, even if it hasn't already, the names will emerge. Then what? So it's one of those things where, yeah, it's hard to say if the coaches or scouts would have time, for these because it's so many of them. But as an athlete, I don't understand why they didn't think twice. How can this affect me? And I'm here to put in work. I've worked so hard to get to this point. Why would you even make that move anyway? Why would you have any type of outburst or assault type situation? Like you said, it's going to be a competitive nature. It's football. Fine, we get it. But I'm not going to do anything to hurt my future, hurt my recruiting, where I want to go.
So tell me this, Q, if you've got a kid that maybe, because Alishia said this is very competitive. There's
Right.
some alpha dog mentality here. If you have a son that maybe balled out his junior year, he's already got offers, 4 or 5 star kid. Are you still putting him in 7-on-7, or you holding him out?
That's a good question, Coach, because it's like you constantly want him, to be around the best of the best. But if it's one of those things that you really gonna have to pick and choose wisely where you're allowing your kids to play. Especially if they're traveling.
Which organization?
Yeah, you really got to choose wisely.
I mean, I'm thinking I'm with Cam. I'm thinking I'm good, and then
that's true.
Back up Cam.
That's true. But I feel like a lot of that had to do with security, because I mean, if you run that clip back, it took a long time for any security.
Take a look. You can see Cam Newton. Can you make him out there trying to fight off multiple men? The former NFL quarterback was
security, none. They're nowhere in sight. That was a huge
eating hot dogs.
Who knows? So I feel like that going forward, a lot of people are going to be taking note and like, hey, going forward, we're definitely making sure that we have solid security. So okay. But it's something that's still needed. 7-on-7 camps, it's still needed, man. It's helping the progress.
Alishia, you still giving thumbs up to Jalen? Go throw your camp, baby.
Well, I actually pulled him out his senior year. He had committed to school, and 7-on-7 is a tool to improve your skill set. Right. Instead of a parent spending all that money traveling all over, I mean, I went to every event my son was in. So I traveled to California, to Florida, from Texas, everywhere. Why not invest that money into your kids' craft? Why not send him to a personal trainer?
Yep.
Work on him. So to me, use 7-on-7 for what it is, but there becomes a point to where it doesn't need to be played. Because 7-on-7 is not real football, because you have some 7-on-7 kings, and when they put them pads
on, girl, say it again for the people in the back.
You're talking to a Texas mama.
Hey, I'm telling you,
to a Texas mama.
You put them pads on like,
she said it's a difference, baby. Right. She said it's a difference. I heard that, mama. All right. Well, that is, and hey, some of you guys are in this boat too. You younger kids, you're determining. Some of you parents, I seen the Cam thing. Should I put my kid in this? You guys got to have some discernment over which 7-on-7 programs to be a part of, you guys, because they're not all created equal, like Alishia said. So thank you guys for sharing that. We're on to our next topic, and this one's big with you being an agent. But what to do at the combine, you guys? And we'll start with you, Alishia. I mean, some of these athletes have been accepted to play or participate in the combine, and there's not many chosen. And some of them, even though they get the invitation, they say they're not going to do anything, so maybe that invitation could have went to someone else. I don't know. But what's your opinion on this? Do you think if I get the invitation, Alishia, to the combine, I need to do everything? Do you think that it's an individual basis? What's your thoughts?
So my thought is what you said exactly. If you don't want to participate, give that spot to someone else. Because it's limited to about 300 guys. We know how many individuals enter the draft as draft prospects. And, from my understanding, you're given an invite because teams, clubs want to talk to you. They want to see you work out. You can do a Zoom call if you just want to ask me some questions.
Right.
Right. But I believe that if an individual is healthy, and they pass all of the medical, I believe that they should do everything, and they should get told to do everything. And if they don't want to do everything, then don't go.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean that makes sense. And I know there's different philosophies on this right here. This young man, his agents said don't participate, but he defied his agents. The tight end from Ohio State said, I'm gonna get after it. So talk to me, Q. If you're a scout of the Bengals and you got two cornerbacks that are kind of similar, one's participating in the draft or the combine, the other one isn't, are you going to grade them a little bit differently, or do you think it's a individual basis?
No. I'm not going to grade them differently because, see, and at least I'm sure you'll agree, is the whole thing about, especially from the agent standpoint, is if your guy is ready or not. And sometimes you have situations, what I'm talking about? You have situations where it's like, okay, listen, especially if you're in a skill position, if we're not 100% sure that we're going to pop this 40 and you need more time, we'll just do vert. We'll do broad jump. We'll do your shuttle. And we'll get ready and do everything else at Pro Day.
But should they still get an invitation though?
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, I feel if you're getting an invite, I don't feel like it should be where you shouldn't show up at all. But if it's one of those things where it should be where I know I'm gonna go there, but I'm not gonna go there and just do the wonder lick and leave. I'm gonna pick and choose. If I don't feel like I can do everything from beginning to end, as well as my individual position drills, then I'll pick and choose what I'm going to do, and then I'll do everything else at Pro Day. Because, like, for example, if Alicia's my agent, I'm like, well, hey, I don't know, my hamstring's been kind of tight. She'll be like, okay, Quincy, here's what we're going to do. We might do your vertical. We'll do your broad, depending on how your legs feel. And we might do your short, your short shuttle, bench press. We'll do your 40. We'll do your 60-yard shuttle, your 20-yard shuttle. We'll do that at Pro Day. It'll give you a little bit of time, stretch, ice up, a little bit of rehab, whatever the case may be. Or it might be, hey, we're in Indianapolis. Maybe that turf isn't the same. It maybe, because we got to get a feel of things. Maybe that turf isn't as as fast or doesn't feel as good as the turf I'm used to running on at A&M. I run on that turf every day. So if I'm like, hey, I can run, I'm concerned about, running a 4.45 here, but I know I can go to A&M and I run on that every day and pop a sub 4.4, then we'll wait on that.
Right.
We'll run that. We'll do that at pro day. We'll wait.
Okay. All right. So
if you're unhealthy, right? If you're unhealthy.
Yeah.
I just think that it should be even playing field. The field is the same field for everybody. So if you're the great, because they said every test, every drill, everything has a purpose. And so what is the benefit to show up and not do anything at all but walk around with a backpack on and some flip-flops? You can stay home and do that.
These are facts. These are
I heard
facts.
that. And and I love it because you're an agent.
Yeah.
And you want as many of your athletes to be able to participate.
Yeah. Well,
your athletes. Yeah. So
been to Indianapolis and seen it, and the thing about it, and I have a firm belief a lot of times. I see that a lot because a lot of guys, usually that are high graded guys, you'll see that a lot. But often enough, they'll opt to do a lot of their drills in an element that they're familiar with. I get that, but I'm not going to show up and not do anything at all. I don't agree with that at all.
There you go. So two trains of thought, and Q was saying, hey, you don't have to do everything, but do something, and Alishia said, if you ain't gonna do nothing, then give one of my guys the ticket. I totally get it. And we got some people checking in with us. I love it. We've got Vernice coming in and saying, so proud of my friend Alishia. She understands the grind and God. There you go. Right. Definitely. We love that. We've got Todd coming in saying, checking in from Alabama. Excited to hear the perspective. Proud of you, Alishia. Lakeisha coming in. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us. And then the great Eric Paul saying, I thought it was Wicked Witch with that hat. He must be talking about Cam. He thought the Wicked Witch of the East was getting jumped out there. So we on to our next topic, and we're having a ball with the great Alishia Jones. She is an NFL mom. She is an NFL agent. She's playing two sides of the fence, and she's got both sides covered. She's giving you guys the game tonight. So we're talking some high school recruiting violations, and this is in you guys' neck of the woods because Alicia's from Houston. Q's in Houston, and they're doing some things in Houston over there at North Shore High School. Old North Shore High School. And it looks like you guys, I know there's recruiting violations in college, but these are the high school version, and it looks like coaches from North Shore were trying to poach some of the players from the other teams, some of the top players. So I want to throw it at you guys. And Alishia, we'll start off with you because you had a very highly recruited young man in your home. Did you ever get the hint that other high school coaches were trying to get your son to go to another school?
Yes, often. Even other schools in other states and other cities.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah. So, but no, he stayed at home, and he played with the team that he was zoned to. Because what are we teaching our kids? If you follow some of the paths of some of these athletes, they go to 4 or 5 different high schools, and when they get to college, they can't deal with any type of adversity. And then they're running all over in the transfer portal. And I've seen the transfer portal in college kill careers to where young men could have had an opportunity if they just would have sat still just a little bit longer, if they had some patience.
See.
Wow. Okay.
Boy, I've been waiting for somebody to say that on this show. And y'all heard it right.
When a mom says it. We've been saying it.
It really
sounds different when a mom says it.
That's what we always say, because nobody wants to stay in scrap. Everybody wants to just hit the portal and run away from any type of competition, and it ends up hurting them because boys get stuck in the portals like quicksand. So, no, I'm really, really glad you said that. I'm really glad you said that.
All right. Well, talk to me then, Q. I mean, this is North Shore, right? Your backyard. You know, they're a powerhouse, a national powerhouse. I wanted to come from the perspective of, is it wrong? Is it wrong for me to try to better my team and maybe even give this kid a better situation than he's currently in?
Right.
He can still say no, like Alicia's son did.
Right. Right.
You know, I know there's the private public school poaching, and that gets a little tough for the public schools. But should we have a portal for high school? Is it wrong? What's your opinion, Q?
I mean,
what North Shore is doing?
I feel
you
like
know it goes on.
Oh no, it definitely goes on. I mean, I mean, she'll tell you what is Katie have? What, a $52 million stadium down? $52 million for some kids, for some high school kids down here in Katy. So they're no different. North Shore, Duncanville, these powerhouses. They're that for a reason. Of course, they have great coaching, great staff, great support as far as the community, but this has been going on for forever. It'll be on now.
So should we let it go on?
I don't agree with that for this one reason. I feel like that it's more of an issue, and you actually just mentioned it. It's the public schools trying to stay relevant. That's like you have the IMGs and these other private schools, modern days, that they I hate to say they can do that, but in a way they almost can. But it's, to me, public schools in this day and age can't survive trying to maintain a powerhouse program with kids that are just zoned to that school. Local. I just feel like it can't be done. Not at this day and age. Maybe back, in eras past, but now it's almost like you have to do that in order to stay competitive.
Okay. All right. Well, that's some insight for you guys right there. And you guys heard it right here from Alishia. If your kid's a top level recruit, don't just expect calls from colleges, expect calls from high schools trying to get after him too. Natasha comes in and says, absolutely amazing. This interview is very informative. I'm loving it. Alishia, you look amazing, sis. We love you. And then she's out there in San Antonio doing her thing. And then hold on, Q. Hold on, Guru. I live in Katy, baby. Don't talk about
then you know what it is then. If you out, you know what it is. Yeah, I give big ups to Katy though. Like I said, man, they are a powerhouse, and like I said again, they got an awesome stadium. But hey, man, you do what you got to do to try to stay on top, I suppose.
Yeah. But Q, what happened to being a coach? What happened with managing the talent that you have? What happened to adjusting to the talent that you have? So many people want to use the same playbook for a decade, and you have to make the adjustments to the kids. I mean, we're asking the kids to deal with adversity and make the adjustments for wherever they may go. Why can't coaches do the same? And I agree with what happened with North Shore, but I think because they are a powerhouse, they got off easy. Because I have a high school down here in San Marcos near where I live, and they postseason got suspended, so they couldn't participate in postseason. But San Marcos wasn't winning anything, so to give them the slap on the wrist to say you can't participate in postseason, that's different. But if you would have said to North Shore, you can't participate, you would have sent a message all through the state of Texas through
Facts. Yeah, because you talk top 5 in the country.
Yeah. It's interesting you brought that up because I talked to Coach Cormier, Q, before I came on, and he's a North Shore alum. Now the wide receiver coach at New Mexico State. Shouts out Coach Cormier. He's a North Shore alum. And he already knew about this situation. And he said exactly what he said, if they would have got held out the playoffs, that coach, because it was an assistant coach, and supposedly he was real loose with how he was doing it.
Right.
He said that coach would have had to run out of Texas for his life if they would have got held out of the playoffs.
Hey, it would have, but think about it too. Is like you got teams like Duncanville and Austin Westlake to be licking their chops because that's a free run to state with them out the way. Indeed. You know what I'm saying?
There was a lot of politicking, I'm sure. There's a lot of politicking behind the scenes on that one.
What you said, what happened to coaching? Don't ask me, ask Coach Saban. That's why he quit, because and that's a great question, because now you got a coach. What do you do when you don't have all the horses anymore?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's exactly
Right.
why Saban bowed out. So that's a good question.
All right. There's some good comment for you, some good commentary, you guys. But we are on to our next topic, and we are having a ball with the great Alishia Jones. She is an NFL mom, an NFL agent. She is deep in it when the NFL season comes around, you guys. She's got her son through the recruiting process. So as we go, you guys, we're winding down. But I know there's some parents in here. So if you got any comments, any questions, feel free. The chat line is definitely open. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Share with your friends. This is a labor of love for Q&I, and we're bringing the best in the industry. We've had Hall of Famers, pro coaches, college coaches, players, moms like this on. So make sure you're rocking with us every single Thursday, you guys. I know you need your football fix that the season isn't here, but we are on, you guys, to the lightning round. And if you are joining us for the very first time, you guys, you're in for a treat, because the lightning round is our version of word association, where we put our guests through a 60-second gauntlet, a 60-second blitz, where we get to find out what is the first thing that comes to Miss Alishia's name when certain things are said. So I've got some either or here. I've got some people. And the first thing that comes to your mind is all we want to hear, Alishia. And you got 60 seconds to do it. So I'm going to get my stopwatch ready here. Let's get the stopwatch ready and get Mama on the blitz. We got her at zeros. So she knows that I'm not cheating her, because I've been accused in the past. And I got my list ready. So, hey, we don't just do this for fun, you guys. It's actually a friendly little wager on it. The number is 15. And if Miss Alishia can get 15 or higher, she actually gets a free dinner on the Locker Room Show. We got to Zelle her cash.
We got to get it done.
To go get some food. She starts smiling. I'm nervous because I'm nervous now. She said, what? She leaned back a little bit. Hold on. All right, now let me get my stopwatch ready. And first thing that comes to your mind. Okay? Now you get one for tech delay, because you're in Texas. I'm in Cali. Q's in Texas. You get one for tech delay. So even 14 gets you in the mix. Okay? You ready to go?
Yes.
All
right. She's focused. I could tell. I'm sweating.
She's locked in.
She's locked in. I can tell. All right. First thing that comes to Alishia's mind, you guys. Number 1, Steele High School. Go.
Champions.
Cowboys or Texans?
Texans.
Favorite fish?
Catfish.
Jamaica or Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Whataburger or In-N-Out?
Whataburger.
Jimbo Fisher?
Legend.
Jill Scott or Jennifer Hudson?
Woo, Jennifer Hudson.
Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Peyton Manning?
Champion.
The NFL Combine?
Indianapolis.
Churro or donut?
Donut.
40 seconds. Patrick Mahomes?
Super Bowl.
Deion Sanders? 50 seconds.
Colorado.
Philly cheesesteak or barbecue brisket?
Philly cheesesteak.
London or New York?
London.
Emmitt Smith?
Cowboys.
Time.
She might have got that.
She might have got that.
Yeah, she might have got that, man. We count them up, Coach. Count them up, Coach. She might have got that.
She did something very smart. That's why I got nervous, because she just went champion, Cowboys. She just went one word, but let's count them up.
She actually got it done. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Tech delay. and then we're gonna revisit. So number 1 was still high school. That's where her son Jalen went. She's still a champion right there. So that's number 1. Number 2, she went with the Texas. Number 3, she went with the Catfish. Number 4 was Jamaica or Hawaii. Number 5, she went with Whataburger. Number 6, she went with Jimbo Fisher. Number 7, she went with the Jennifer Hudson. Number 8, she went with the Lamar Jackson. Number 9, she went with Coffee. Number 10 was Peyton Manning. Number 11 was Combine and Indy. Number 12 was the Donut. Number 13 was Patrick Mahomes. Number 14 was Deion Sanders in Colorado. Number 15 was Cheesesteak. Number 16 was London. And number 17 was Cowboys. Cowboys and emphasis. So she's in there deep. She's in there deep. We have a new champion. We have a new champion.
It's gonna take a while to beat that.
All right, yeah. So, okay. So you got until we got about maybe 8 more episodes in the spring, and then you get the thing, the deal. So hey, that is a great job right there. She smashed the record.
Well, my motivation was Papados. I mean, Q said Papados. I said I like to eat.
Hey, I'm telling you.
I know I'm in trouble. We got some people coming on in the chat. My girl at dinner. Definitely. You said, Coach, you said 17.
I'm telling you.
Hard to beat. No doubt. I said, let's go. So no, we had a ball right there. That was a great job. So we are on, you guys, and we will definitely hook up with Miss Alishia. Some of y'all might try to tag along for the dinner. I know you guys doing good out there in Texas, but we are on to our last section of the show, you guys, and that is the audience Q&A. Once again, we're live. This is a live show, so great content. You got someone who's a mom who put her heart into her baby, who's out there playing in the NFL, and then also she's put her heart into the clients and the business she's building. So if you have a question for Miss Alishia, please put it in the comment section now. But Q, I know you had something for our guest.
Definitely. I just want you to tell our guests, everyone that's watching, what was that feeling when you first saw him, like his first NFL game? Like when you look at your son and you like, I just had this boy, it feels like, a little while back, and you sitting at the kitchen table watching him eat up all your food, all the cereal, and just watch him grow into what he is now. Just what was that feeling? That's what I gotta know that.
Woo! I mean, I don't know words can express the feeling. I mean, just proud that his dream that he always had. I would always say when he was younger that his heart was shaped like a football. Because he would always cry when football season was over because he wanted to continue to play. And so I was just very proud and happy. I felt like it was the fruit of my labor, nurturing him and giving him what he wanted so that he can become an NFL player.
That's awesome.
That's amazing, really awesome. Right there. And
I can't even fathom. I can't fathom it.
Coach Foster saying, go ahead and send it to her. Only 2 house payments for Coach Wood. There you go. Yeah. They're going to go after it. But no, we are so pumped up. And, it's just been amazing to have you on tonight. I know that you probably have a mom side also with your business because these are young men that you're dealing with. Before we let you go, how do you decipher which young men to choose? And what's that process like for you? Is it just about X's and O's? Are you looking at projections? Are you looking at the character of the young man? What's the process to maybe choose a young man to work with?
To be a successful team, y'all have to be able to mesh and work together. And you can't be oil and water. There's some great agents and some great players, and they just cannot mesh to be a team. And I would say that I look at the whole picture. I look at the young man. I look at his drive and his skill set. I don't too much look at projections because mock drafts are just what it is. It's a mock, and you never know if your name is going to get called.
Yeah.
So all I know is what it takes to get your name called, and I'm there to, nourish that and to invest in you and get you to that point.
Awesome.
Amazing right there. And
Awesome.
Sonia coming in, Danielson, and saying, look at my sugar. So proud of you. There you go. I love it. We just had somebody else, Isabella Evans, coming in saying, how does the athlete know what the best time to come out, junior year or senior year? Do they receive a grade after their junior season? Is this something that the agent can guide them on? Great question.
That's a good question.
So to the parent, there are really no junior grades by the time December roll around. Your season just ended. For some schools, the season is still going on. So you can try, your agent can try to pay some scouts to give them some feedback on where they may fall or where they see them. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's where it's going to fall. And you just got to have faith, and you have to move on before that, have your plan A and your plan B. Of course, there's always articles, but those articles are written by individuals that do not have a clue on what the team is thinking. You don't know what that GM is thinking. That's just someone, right?
You only need one.
Yeah.
You only need one to really be feeling you and want you.
Yeah. That's true.
So you have to decide what's important to you, and whether your child is willing to go back and finish their education once they become an NFL athlete. Because I've seen individuals go broke once they get out the league. I see individuals that have come out and they didn't make it, and they don't have their degree. They can't even go coach at high school. It's difficult to get a job doing what they love. So I would just say, just weigh those options. And if it does not work out for that individual coming out as a junior, just be ready to support them and at least get them back into school, where they can find a career. Because you have a couple of years. If you don't make it and you're on practice squad a couple of years, of course that's CFL, and then you have the XFL and the
USFL merging, right?
Together they have merged. So there's other options for them to play ball, but at the end of the day, that body is going to give out on you. So just help them with their plan B, life after football. I hope I answered your question.
Awesome. I was thinking I do have one more question. What is your opinion on if you're a senior, had a solid senior season, and your all-star game, your shrine game, your East-West shrine, Senior Bowl. What's your thoughts on, do we go here or do we not? And the reason I'm asking that, we actually had a guest, ways back, good friend of mine, one of my former teammates at Kansas, Ron Warner, top three. This was 97 draft, top three rush DNs in the country, 21 sacks on the season, goes to the Shrine game, goes from a first-round pick and tears his ACL, and goes from a first round to a 6th round pick. So, and that's not the first time that's happened. So how do you kind of decipher, hey, are we going to, Senior Bowl games, or do we not?
Well, so I would say as an agent, I would really talk to them about risk management. And I will really look into what kind of insurances that they may have. I know some people don't like listening to some of the risk management managers, but they are very vital in that transition, because you're absolutely right. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, you still have individuals that does not go to an all-star game, and they can get hurt while they're training to go to the draft. So I would say you just don't know when it's going to happen, and you really need to focus on the risk management side of it. And if a team or someone wants to interview that young man, I would say don't play the game, and that team is still going to interview him, but give that chance to someone else that is next on the list, on the wait list or something like that.
Got you.
Great point right there.
Cool.
The great Coach Hughes is coming in, and he says, you are a business. You are in a business that's dominated by men, female of color. Have you got a gauge on how GMs and people view you when they're doing business with you? That's
another great question.
Well, so the ceiling has been embarked upon because I'm not the first.
Yeah.
So I think that they're pretty much used to dealing with women of color. I think in a business that's majority of men, we still have to fight that fight because you do have individuals that tell you what you cannot do as a woman, and what you know and what you don't know. But I think that ceiling has been embarked upon, even with the sports journalism and things of that nature. So I'm here because I want other young ladies that look like me to say I can do that too.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love it. And I know Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts just got a big contract, and his agent is female of color, and he's got a whole female marketing team. So that ceiling has been cracked, and I love it. We got a GM who's a female with the Raiders, so big stuff right there. We've got people coming in. Sonia said, yes, say that. Yes, indeed. And then we've got, let's see, Ta coming in, and she says, hi, Alishia, it's your favorite Steeler mom. This is very informative. The industry needs more of this perspective. Thank you. We give it every single Thursday, and we love that that you're with us tonight, because we're definitely going to bring you back on. Even want to have your son on too. So
absolutely,
this is amazing. And so let's let her get off and get some rest, because she's a couple of hours ahead of us. But we had an absolute ball, Alishia. The work you're doing is amazing. It's phenomenal to me that you can, because a lot of moms, if their baby is playing in the NFL, they don't want to do nothing else during the NFL season or focus on their baby. But you picking up the phones for other athletes, you're willing and dealing. So I absolutely love it. And we appreciate you coming on the Locker Room Show tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Appreciate you big time.
All right, you guys. So, hey, that is the great Alishia Jones, you guys. An amazing woman, but God-fearing mom. She's also a pastor, Q. And then, like I said, NFL mom, NFL agent, man. Double duty.
Hey, I'm telling you, man.
Most never see either side of that world. They never have a son she's on both sides of the
field. And that's what makes her so unique. That's why we had to have her on the show, to get that particular perspective. And again, I'm sure that we'll start to see more of that in the future. It's a lot of moms out here that have her background, whether they're attorneys or they have they're a business major, and you have a son that has that type of talent. Why not just go ahead and get certified?
We've seen friends do that. Where
absolutely,
with the family, with Michael Lewis's brother. We've seen
the Fletchers
friends do it, but not the moms. Now the moms,
right.
That's what made it special.
Yeah, that's what made it special. But I hope to see a lot more of that in the future. So definitely love hearing her story. We definitely wish her son the best of luck. Love to have him on. And, big ups to her sports management firm, and good luck to her in the upcoming draft.
Yes, indeed. And right there, Coach Hughes, I see what you're asking, her contact information. Some of you guys might be athletes looking for an agent. And I apologize for not getting that from her before she got off there. But if you look right there in the comment section, you guys, that is her Twitter handle. That's her Twitter handle, and you guys can go there and check her out. Alishia N as in Nancy Jones, and check her out on Twitter and she'll get right back to you. Trust you. So if you guys are looking for an agent, or maybe you're just a parent, an athlete looking for some advice, she's definitely one to go out there.
Yeah.
And Lakeisha, 100%. Mom's perspectives matter. That's why we wanted to bring her on the show. We've had Dr. Erin Shannon on before, who's amazing sports psychologist. She's a sports mom too. We're gonna bring in some more ladies. I know we've got some on the docket, and we've got plenty more great guests, you guys, for you to come on in and check out. And if you haven't seen some of our past episodes, the Ronnie Lotts, the Lee Steinbergs, the Michael Bishop, plenty of great football names giving all of their advice, all of their information in game to you guys. So please make sure that you like and subscribe. That is your payback to us for the work that we put in to bring this content to you guys for free every single week. Also, Before You Go Pro is not just a podcast. The Locker Room Show is a part of the Before You Go Pro umbrella. We help athletes across the country get college football scholarships at the high school and junior college level. We have a database that college coaches check out. Was literally just talking to some college coaches before tonight's show. Amazing young men who come from amazing families, many of which watch this show right now as we speak. Love you guys. Love your families. And then we've got the great Coach Foss who helps us out, and Coach Jay. Amazing people that we loop around to support your child. So if you do need recruiting support, we are about to shut it down, you guys, this weekend for the class of 2024. So if you're a high school senior or junior college kid who's ready to go, you don't have nothing, you better reach out to us at beforeyouGoPro.com so that you can get some help. And it's a lot more than recruiting. If you didn't listen to tonight, the 7-on-7 stuff, Q, we talked about the portal. We know there's NIL money. How does a parent keep up with all this, man?
Man, you better get at us, man. Before You Go Pro, keep tuning into the show, man, and get this sauce, man. Parents need it, man. It's a winding road, helping to support your kid and get them where they want to go.
Definitely. Yeah. This is an industry, you guys.
Yeah.
This is no different than the music industry or the movie industry. You better know how to navigate it. So we're here to help you do that every single Thursday. Come on back next Thursday, because we got another amazing guest for you guys that is deep in the football entertainment industry. We'll see you guys at the top.